Hello, I am Chris Roebuck. I'm the founder and CEO of Live My Life Debt Free. I am really pleased to be with our guest today. Before I get to introducing her, I want to just say that for those who might receive this video from a friend, or you might see it on a reel or whatever, I just want you to know that I just take so much joy and pride in helping individuals globally to live a debt-free life through teaching financial literacy. There are financial disciplines that we must have in place in order to manage our finances well. This is a lifetime journey. So it is not something that we're going to get correct just once and then never have to worry about having our good money behaviors in motion all the time. So this year, what I'm doing, and I am so excited, every single month, I believe I'm going to be bursting with excitement about highlighting generational wealth builders who crushed it in 2022 and who have already put their strategy and plan in place to crush 2023. Now, I'm going to encourage you to please get a pen and paper, take notes, because these nuggets that they're dropping, these are proven things, steps that they have already done that works. So I'm glad to and so happy that my friend, my classmate, Larceni Hall is with me today, and that she has chosen to share with all of you how she crushed it in 2022. Welcome, Larceni. I'm so happy to have you with us today. From the great state of Arkansas. you can yes. Talk, you can I know there's a little bit of delay. I'm sorry. What did you say?
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
I just said yes.
Yeah. The great state of Arkansas.
Yeah.
You know, when you shared your testimony with me, I was so excited. Whether we have big milestones or small ones, I really feel like it's a blessing to the entire community. And from there, it's going to be a blessing to the world, for whoever watched this video. So I just want to ask you, first of all, you can just tell us a little bit about yourself if you want to, because I can throw out there that you're retired and and that you're a giver and that you serve in the community. So why don't you just tell us a little bit about yourself?
First of all, thank you, Chris, for inviting me to this platform. I've followed you for years and gained a lot of insight based on the little nuggets that you've placed out there for everybody. And it's up to the individual to take that information and do something with it. And I kind of started on that journey of becoming debt free after my retirement. I worked for a company for 34 years. I've worked for like 35 years. And, the Lord orchestrated it all. I was 54, had no idea about retiring, and the pressures at work had just gotten to be very overwhelming. And one day he just told me, "You've been released." And that's all he said. And I was like, well, I'm 54. And what are you talking about? So I just kind of went along, with him and started cleaning out my desk at work and preparing, because in order for God to move in your life, you have to be able to hear his voice, know that it was him, and walk by faith.
Yeah.
And faith, not knowing where you're going to end up, but you just, I just put it into motion. And I've been retired now going on 7 years, and my life has gotten better and better and better. And, there is nothing, that God won't do and can't do. And those are the things that you have to remember the most, that he's always with you. And so that's basically, me.
Awesome. I love it. phenomenal. And this is why, and I know you've probably seen it in our community. And when I say community, for those who aren't familiar, Live My Life Debt Free community, I often say we have to pair our faith with our finances. There's no separating that. I separated it back when I was 19 and, up until probably 28 years old, and everything was a complete mess. So what you're saying, I'm nodding because I agree with you wholeheartedly, that, we have to trust God in our situations, because if we could have fixed it, or if we could make our future better, or if we could just walk off our job, imagine someone walking off their job because they feel like that they can just, it's time, but they haven't heard from God. It's going to be very, very difficult, to manage from day to day. But when God does say, okay, you've been released, and it's time to step away, because what happened, I can only imagine what might have happened, or what your life might have been like had you stayed, because you were relying on yourself, and not on the hand of God. So, yeah. So thank you for sharing that. So I want to ask you, for one thing, I want to just ask you first of all, and then I'd like for you to share your testimony with what you shared with me, in which I'm going to let you tell it, so I don't, before I get so excited, I might just blurt it out. But first of all, there are other people out there like you who are probably, they've heard God, and you've already just said, and I believe you're going to bless someone, and we'll probably even hear in the community somebody say, oh, okay, you might have set somebody free already. But what would you say to those who are feeling really hopeless right now about their situation, to where they just feel like they want to take a leap of faith, but they just don't feel like they can do that, and they're just hopeless even in their situation, and that they don't feel like they can crush their financial goals? What would you say to them, or would it be the same?
Start. Just start.
Yes.
Somewhere.
Yes.
And you have to start on your knees, in your closet, in your bedroom, in your car, in whatever posture that you feel as though you need to get an earful from God. Because truth be told, he told me 7 years prior to me leaving the job. And I was like, no, I got kids, I got grandkids, I got this, I got that, not knowing that he had already prepared the way for me to be able to live that life of continuing to give to my grandkids, to travel to see them, no matter where they are, I can be, because those were the things that were important to me. And he knew that my family meant more to me, than things here on earth. And so I was like, you ever just told the Lord,
Yes.
I'm not.
And it didn't turn out well for me, but yes.
Because I suffered through another 7 years of misery, of going to work, not wanting to go to work, but I learned early on from people in my life, and you have to listen, although they're not talking to you. When I was on the job, I heard coworkers talk about interest rates and how to make sure that they work for you and you're not working for them. So you want the car. First save enough money to put down on the car, then only finance it on their terms, but pay it off on your terms. And then once you get ready to buy another vehicle, sell that vehicle on your own for what it is you want to sell it for, not for what they will give you. Buy your house. buy it on their terms, but pay it off on your terms, and never get a house, never finance a house for more than 30 years. We always financed our house for 15 years. It only made our house note a couple of $100 more. So while most people were paying for their homes in 30 years, we were paying for our homes, and this is our third home in 15 years. And I was like, that makes kind of good sense. It's a sacrifice for us, but it was worth it in the end to know that your investment into a house, and especially back then, in the 80s and the 90s, it was worth making that sacrifice. And is how we got financially started into knowing where to put our money and knowing how, we can not have long-term debt.
Powerful. That is powerful. And I'm not even going to add to that. So you said that you crushed it in 2022, and you shared with me how. Can you share that with us?
Yes. So all our lives, we purchased vehicles according to the size of our family. And, we've always had a big vehicle, large vehicle, because of our large family. And especially with the kids and the grandkids, and being able to put those group of people in one vehicle. And so last year, this vehicle had just been sitting at our home, not being utilized other than running to the store. And, generally we bought the big vehicles so we can take all the kids on vacation and we all be together and, things of that nature. Well, that was no longer the case, where the grandkids have gotten older. They have their own agenda. We don't get together as a large group anymore. So I have to go see 2 at one time or 4 at one time, and we're never all together. And I realized that large vehicle sitting in our driveway was no longer useful for the purposes which we had planned.
Right.
So I always feel like there's nothing here on earth that I won't sell in order to be able to get the use that I put in it. And the vehicle was paid for. Right. So I was like, why do we have this vehicle that's not being utilized when it can very well go to someone else that it will serve a better purpose? So that expedition that we had sitting in our garage, we put it online, and everything goes online. I tell you, if you haven't tried Marketplace, and try the yards, well, it's kind of creepy, kind of scary, because you really don't know who you're getting. But I always meet at a police station and I sell whatever it is that I feel like I no longer have a need for. And you have to, if you're married. Now, my husband didn't want to do it because men are like, no, it's paid for. And, we're going to go, and all the grandkids. Well, first of all, we have one grandson who's 12, and he's 6'2" and almost 200 pounds. You can't fold him into anything. He need a whole row by himself.
Yes.
So I kind of had to convince him that, babe, those days of getting all the kids in one vehicle and traveling together are over. Okay. We'll have to rent. So not beneficial to have something that someone else could make good use of. So, and that's what we try to do. We try and make sure that our time, our talent, and our money is put to good use, and God will pour that back into our lives. So
that's wonderful, because
we sold our expedition, and we sold it for $35,000 and got a check.
Yeah, well, can't even beat that. Not with the stick, as my grandmother used to say. I mean, and it makes sense, and it makes CENTS as well. I mean, it makes dollars. Because it's powerful for what you shared, because some individuals are so attached to their things, and and they're not in a place where you are, as far as being, understanding how to manage whatever debt you create. I know you shared in the community that you use a certain credit card during Christmas holidays, but you pay it off. Some individuals who are not disciplined in those areas, who are struggling right now, I hope they're paying attention to what you're saying. So if their vehicle is $600 a month, because you can easily have $500-600 a month vehicle, and some of them even $800 a month,
Yes.
depending on what you buy and more. But struggling, if they're struggling, then I hope they're listening to what you're saying and downsize. Or if they have something that's paid and off that they can sell, like you said, you sold some things.
Yes.
So they can use that money to pay off their debt and have a good night's rest.
Right.
So,
Right. Now, I wanted a new Apple Watch.
mhm,
Well, I had how you have new things in your closet
mhm.
and you have old things in your closet.
Right.
Well, that watch was $400. And I thought, well, okay, I'm not spending $400 on this watch. But I had some things in my closet that I could sell.
Mhm.
And I sold, and I got $700 off of those items that were just sitting in my closet that, I hadn't worn suits since I quit work.
Mhm.
So, and I didn't sell them for like $20. Sold
Mhm.
suits for like $20.
Wow.
And, now my closet is cleaner,
Mhm.
my watch,
Yes.
got my
It's
watch,
paid for.
paid for. So there are little things that you could do, and you'd be surprised if you go on Marketplace on Facebook, or if you go on one of those yard sale places near you, people buy things. Or you could take your clothes to those resale shops.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
They will buy those things from you.
Shots, yeah.
And yeah, you take that money
Yeah.
and go get something that
Right.
you've been wanting, rather than taking out of your household when you literally have money sitting around the house.
It gives a new meaning to, always say, whatever we need is in our house.
Yeah.
It's in our house, whatever it is that we need. Even if
Yeah.
it's food, there's food in the pantry. You just have to decide whether you want to eat it or not. And there's food in the freezer. Go take it out and let it thaw
Yeah.
out. You don't have to stop by the store every day. But
Right.
but we're wrapping up here, and I want to just ask you this last question. Oh, well, actually, it's a two-part question. One, what was the reaction when you sold your items? What did other people say? And two, did you care about what they said? Or, how did you feel after you had sold it?
Well, the first, how did you feel? I felt great.
Yeah.
And my husband, not so great, because he felt like he was losing part of him. So, he's just that, he attached to things. I don't attach to anything that is material. And when I say material, the house, the cars, the clothes, things that can easily be replaced should it go up in a fire. Because that's what I'm thinking. I could lose everything in this house. And if I connected to it, that would depress me, to lose something that actually has no value. So I, can get rid of anything and still be happy that I did it. And, the reaction of people when you do something is kind of like a love, like it, is not necessarily because they did it and saw the rewards of it. Is that you did it and they saw the rewards of it, but can't actually wrap their head around, so much, But when you are in a community such as yourself, and you're in a community of people that likes the fact that you have done something that's really profound in your life to be useful for you, and whatever it is else that you want to do with it, then they are clapping. They're happy, they're excited, and those are the kind of people that I surround myself with, the like kind, like mind people that are happy to see accomplishments in whatever measure in your life. So
That's right. So I really appreciate you coming on today and just sharing with everyone your heart and, just giving that invaluable nuggets, I believe, that can help really help anyone who's willing to receive it to
yes,
move forward in 2023 with a better outlook on financial management or money management.
right.
So thanks again, Larceni. I appreciate you. And, I just look forward to hearing how you're going to crush 2023 after you've crushed 2023. I can't wait to hear what you've done because I know it's going to be great.